In the golden age of Islam, when the light of revelation guided nations, a manuscript was born, not ink alone, not parchment alone, but a vessel of words eternal, guarded in hearts and pages. This was the Qur'an, preserved, memorized, recited, and written, the axis of unity for the believers. Yet one copy, among many, would one day bear witness not only to recitation, but to blood and tears. Caliph Uthman ibn Affan, the third successor of Prophet Muhammad, was chosen for his piety and wisdom. He was gentle in speech, generous in giving, and steadfast in preserving the faith of the people. Under his leadership, the Muslim world stretched across deserts, valleys, and seas, carrying justice and light with it. But with expansion came difference, accents varied, and recitations diverged in distant lands. Uthman saw the danger, and with courage he acted. He gathered the companions who still lived, those who had memorized the Qur'an in its entirety. Together they prepared one master copy, ensuring the words were preserved in one unbroken voice. From this text, copies were made and sent across the empire, uniting the believers in recitation. The Qur'an became not only scripture, but the unshakable thread binding hearts across distant lands. Yet in the shadows, discontent stirred. In the far provinces, whispers of dissatisfaction spread. Letters carried complaints, some real, some false, fanned by envy, ambition, and hidden rebellion. Men gathered in secret, their voices bitter, their plans dangerous, their words dripping with unrest. The winds of discord traveled swiftly, carried on the backs of riders across endless dunes. But in Medina, the heart of Islam, peace still shone in Uthman's house. There the Caliph kept his personal Qur'an, the very copy from which he recited each day. Its pages bore his breath, its margins absorbed his tears, its words lifted his soul. It was more than parchment, it was his companion, his solace, his reminder of God. Then the storm arrived. Rebels surrounded his home, demanding his resignation, demanding division of the Ummah. But Uthman stood firm. He would not hand over the Qur'an to ambition and discord. His guards held the gates. The people of Medina wept, torn between loyalty and fear. The sky itself seemed to darken, heavy with dust, as tension thickened in the desert air. That night, while swords and anger circled outside, Uthman turned inward. He prayed long into the hours of silence. The Qur'an opened before him. By the light of a single lamp, he whispered verses of patience, mercy, and faith. Every word strengthened his heart. Every breath drew him closer to his Creator. He was an old man, but in those moments, his spirit was strong as steel. At dawn, the peace was shattered. The rebels forced the doors, their swords flashing, their voices rising. They stormed the Caliph's home, splintering wood, scattering dust, rushing into his private chamber. But Uthman did not flee. He did not rise in anger, nor lift a sword. He sat calmly, the Qur'an before him, his lips moving in sacred recitation. Even as shadows filled the room, he held to peace, refusing violence, refusing division. Then came the fatal strike. A blade fell in anger upon the Caliph of Islam, but in that moment, his voice still echoed with the words of God. The lamp was extinguished by a sudden wind. The room plunged into shadow. Silence followed, heavy and eternal, as the course of history bent forever. Blood touched the Qur'an. A crimson drop fell upon its page, staining a verse of betrayal and truth. The ink glistened through the mark, as if testifying that sacrifice had sealed the sacred text. This was no ordinary wound, but the merging of blood and revelation, tears and eternity. Fear gripped the rebels. They fled into the night, their courage broken, their hands trembling. They left behind what they could not destroy, a Qur'an now marked forever with martyrdom. Their footsteps echoed in the empty courtyard, fading into silence, swallowed by the desert dark. When companions entered, they found their beloved Caliph lifeless, resting beside the Qur'an. Their eyes filled with tears, their voices choked in grief, their hearts broken beyond repair. The sacred manuscript lay open, the blood-stained page glowing softly in the morning light. It was a scene of sorrow, but also of eternal testimony. That night, Uthman was buried quietly. No grand ceremony, no vast procession, only the faithful by his side. The crescent moon hung above Medina, silver light falling upon the earth of a martyr's grave. Torches flickered, prayers whispered, hearts mourned as one era ended and another painfully began. Yet the manuscript endured. His Qur'an was preserved, wrapped with care in silk, placed within a chest. It was not merely a relic, but a silent witness to faith and sacrifice. Across centuries, it journeyed through deserts with caravans, through libraries of scholars, through palaces of sultans. Empires rose and fell, but the Qur'an remained, guarded by God's promise. Today, it rests in museums, displayed behind glass, its ancient pages still whispering their truth. The reddish marks remain faint yet visible, a reminder of the day blood met revelation. Visitors lean close, scholars gaze deeply, seekers feel the weight of history before their eyes, and still it speaks, not in sound but in presence, reminding us of patience, unity, and sacrifice. It tells of a leader who chose peace over war, faith over fear, truth over compromise. Its message is timeless. Truth demands courage, unity demands sacrifice, faith demands steadfast hearts. The manuscript of Uthman's tears, not lost, not forgotten, but living testimony, a silent witness to faith that endures forever. For God has declared, indeed we sent down the reminder, and indeed we will guard it.